morning. It is Thursday. It is 9:30 a.m. here in the Central Time Zone, which means it is time for our weekly Cotton Cuts Live. I am so happy to be joining you guys every week to talk about all the cool and crazy things that are going on with Cotton Cuts. As we do at the beginning of every live, I take questions that you guys have submitted on our website. If you go to cottoncuts.com/live and submit questions, I will answer them here. I don't see them ahead of time. This is totally spontaneous and a surprise for me. So who knows? Maybe I'll get stumped. You just never know. Well, that's how we start these things. Okay, so the first question comes from Emily Fisher from Kansas City, Missouri. Thank you so much for joining us, Emily, from Kansas City, right across the state. Why is the fabric cut called a fat quarter and not just a quarter of fabric? Okay, so I'm going to channel my inner sassy 11-year-old Dominic and say it's called a fat quarter because it needs to go on a diet, but not true. Okay, so why is it a fat quarter? And so for me, when I was a young quilter, I didn't know what a fat quarter actually was. I thought it was kind of a secret handshake when you went into a quilt shop that, only the cool kids got to buy a fat quarter. Be like, can I get a quarter? But as I got more experienced with what a fat quarter actually is, it's actually a very versatile cut of fabric for quilters that cut geometric shapes. If you get a traditional quarter yard of fabric off the bolt, it's going to be 9 inches wide and really skinny. It'll be 42 inches long. And it's really hard to get those good square cuts out of it. You can't optimize it very well. So a very smart person a long time ago came up with the idea of this fat quarter concept. And if you cut a fabric at a half yard mark, so it's 18 inches, and then you cut off the manufacturer fold, you just cut right along the fold, you get a piece of fabric that's 18 by 22, which is kind of a magical rectangle for quilters. You can get a lot of shapes. It's very versatile. It's the exact same surface area. It's just cut differently. And so it's very, very cool. If you're not used to going in and asking for a fat quarter from your local quilt shop, I highly recommend you try it and just kind of see what different opportunities it opens for you. I know there's a lot of quilt shops that stash fat quarters. I think one of our local quilt shops here in St. Louis just had a fat quarter frenzy, and it's a thing. So give it a whirl, see if you like it, and definitely try it. Don't be afraid to ask for the fat quarter. You would not be the weirdo, I promise you. Okay, next question from Teresa Walker from Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte is beautiful this time of year. Thank you, Teresa. How do I personalize my preferences every month to get the fabric I want the most? I don't like florals. Okay, so Teresa, this is a great question. So I'm going to assume you're talking about your classic membership or your mini pup membership, which is exactly what we're going to spend most of this time talking about today. And Teresa's absolutely right. We ask you questions. We ask you what you like. You tell us what you like, what you don't like. And every month we change it based upon what you tell us. So if you're like Teresa and you don't like florals, that's totally fine. We'll never send you a floral. That's kind of the rules. If you don't like juvenile fabrics, I know there's a lot of people out there that don't want or need those, then we don't put those in your boxes ever. So you don't like florals and juveniles, fine. That's great. We make all of that happen for you. Each month you have a contact here at Cotton Cuts, and we help you and we update your file and make sure we keep all that history. So you only have to tell us once, and then we'll never send you a floral ever again. Okay, so going into what we're talking about today. So thank you all for joining us. I see a lot of familiar names in the chat. Just so everyone's aware, so we are on Facebook, we are on YouTube, and we're on Instagram. And so as much as talented as I am seeing those live streams all at the same time, it's really hard for me to say hi to everyone. But I can definitely say hi to Katie Jolson. She's been hanging out here for about 10 minutes because she is one of our longest term classic members. She's been a classic since I think month 2 or 3. So for many, many, many years. And I see Greta Sobel, who's actually one of our longest mystery detectives as well. So hello, ladies. My team is actively managing the chat everywhere. And so if you see Jessica or Terry or Paula respond, those are Cotton Cuts folks. They're helping me as we go through this, just so everyone can have all your questions answered as we go. Okay, also, if you're joining us for the first time on YouTube or Facebook, be sure to accept the StreamYard terms and conditions, so that way we can see who you are and reply back to you. Okay, so like every live, we're gonna have a giveaway. And so for this giveaway, we're actually going to be giving away a classic membership. That's, of course, what we're talking about. And so you will get your choice of classic box that will ship to you in the month of December. It'll come around the holiday time at the end of the month. And so it'll be a fantastic little gift for you. You have to stay till the end of the broadcast to learn how to receive your free classic membership. Okay. We like to talk about what's happening in the shop this week because it's all if you're not seeing our TikToks or our reels, it can be hard to kind of know what's going on. So this week we shipped our Modern Maker boxes. So the team was frantically putting all those lovely rolls of fabrics into boxes. We are doing a lot of die cutting on all of our mystery quilts. We're actually cutting Clue 7 for Carnival. The team is working ahead. It's awesome. And this week we launched our stitches. They actually this was like the biggest stitches that this is the most we've ever sold. And so it was awesome. Stitches are like, I like to describe them as those Lego sets that you get, that kids get that don't have a pattern with them. And so you can literally do anything you want with it. We had several folks in the shop get on a design wall and just laid them out and just made different shapes. And some made arrows and some made envelopes and it was all just however you wanted to play for however long you wanted to play. And that's what we love about the stitches here. Okay, so with that, don't forget, and I have to remind everyone, we talked about this a couple lives ago, Cotton Cuts Cares started this month. And so $5 from every new classic, Java, Modern Maker, and Chroma Super Pop membership will go to our featured organization this month, So Powerful, that provides purses and feminine hygiene products to underserved girls in South Africa. This is something that we find a lot of motivation in, promoting education as much as we possibly can. And we love your help. We've actually had a huge amount of new memberships because of this. And so our donation is really, really exciting to me. Cotton Cuts will match that and we'll be able to announce it at the end of the month. All right. So Katie if you guys aren't watching the chats over here on Facebook and YouTube, Katie is super excited about the classic, which is going to be the next thing that we talk about. So classic membership is the very, very first one that we started with at Cotton Cuts. And so when I was looking at starting a quilting company, I was thinking about my own quilting journey. And so I've been quilting since I was young, since I was 13 years old was when I made my first quilt. And I was thinking, I was the typical like go into a quilt shop and buy pretty fabric. And to me, it didn't matter if it was Joann's or a local quilt shop. If it was pretty, I bought it. I made some cool things as I went along. And then I participated in the St. Louis Metro Quilt Shop Hop. So in the city of St. Louis, once a year, they get all the quilt shops together. And at that time, it was a 4-day weekend. And I had just had Dominic. And so I took my 2-month-old baby in March to 13 different quilt shops here in St. Louis. And I schlepped that little carrier in and out, all these quilt shops to all these places I'd never been before. And I loved every minute of it. And it just was such a great opportunity for me to see the different quilt shops that are further away than I would normally go, and to see just the community and all the specials and all the promotions and everything that they had. And it was such a fantastic experience. And then the next year, instead of 13 shops, there were only 11. And then the next year, there were 8. And the next year, there were 6. And it was sad to me because, like many people, quilt shops are closing. And access to good quality designer fabrics is hard to find. And I was like, how can I help the people who have quilt shops by them that are closing, who don't necessarily know online that they're looking for Allison Glass? I surely didn't. I would browse and find something that's pretty and I would buy it. And that's very difficult to do online. So how can I help people find the things that they want to be able to buy online confidently? And I had this thought about this classic box, that maybe what we could do is ship fat quarters to people. We already talked about fat quarters are smaller pieces of fabric that you can do a lot of things with. What if we shipped fat quarters to people from different collections that you might not know about, that you might not have had exposure to, that you can then go online and buy more confidently once you receive your classic box? But I knew I couldn't ship the same box to everybody. That's not going to work. And I know there's a lot of quilting boxes out there that do that, where everyone gets the same thing. But I know quilters, I've been around quilters for a long time. And I think I've mentioned this before. You can be at a guild meeting sitting next to your best friend and you like 2 vastly different things. So it was important to me that you guys have the opportunity of choice and that you get to tell us what you like, but most importantly, what you don't like. And so that way, when we send you this box of joy, you have some control over it. And it's different than everyone else's. It's been made specifically for you. And so I ran with this idea, and then we launched our classic box. And the idea is simple. You go online to the Cotton Cuts website and you answer a survey. You tell us what fabrics, what color you like. That's important, right? Some quilters they like every color. Some very much like jewel tones. Some like earth tones. Some like pastels. And you also tell us what fabric you don't like. That's very important. Like I mentioned at the beginning, if you don't want juvenile, make sure you tell us that because we will never send you a juvenile. That is our promise to everybody. And then you also have an opportunity to write notes. So if you want to tell us like, hey, I make special projects. Hey, I make quilts for Quilts of Valor. Then we're going to load you up with red, white, and blue. I like to make quilts to donate for the nurseries that are close to us, for hospitals. Okay, we're going to load you up with juvenile prints and bright and fun prints that you can use to make for quilts for donation. Say you like to make smaller projects. We will send you a whole bunch of small scale prints to be able to help you with those projects. And so each box is different because each person is different. And so every month we reach out to you and we say, hey, how did we do last month? Is there anything we can change? And we love feedback. The more you tell us, the better the box that we can send to you. And so when we launched this, we had a fat quarter box. Here's an actual example. This actually is this month's fabric because they're being made right now on the shop floor. So I would say that this person loves blenders, loves bright, happy fabric, and loves to be inspired because this box has a batik in it. Traditionally, someone who likes these kind of reproduction holiday prints might not necessarily like a batik, but the batik blends so well with everything here. And that's one of the fun things that our team likes to do is plant a little Easter egg here and there. When someone says they love Tula Pink, I love finding that reproduction that blends well with the Tula Pink collection, just to kind of challenge someone maybe outside their comfort zone and to put things together they might not have before. In addition to the classic box and the fat quarters, we also do the same thing, but with half yards, because some people like bigger cuts of fabric and they like getting more. So same process. They answer a survey, they tell us what they like, they tell us what type of quilter they are, and every month we curate a different group of fabrics for them. No two boxes are ever the same. That's kind of the promise. That's what we keep. And our team works hard to make sure we give you what you want. Now, we also have this mini pop box. 12 fat quarters is a lot of fabric. For me, that would have been too much. I don't sew that fast. But I liked the concept of offering something that was smaller that people could get just a little bit of and just kind of see how it goes. And so this is the mini pop. And so this is actually 6 fat quarters. So this could be a very similar quilter to the first one, but just perhaps a smaller variety of it. And so same thing, they like brights, they like happy fabrics, they like pastels. And so in its assortment of fabric, you could put this together to make a bag easily. You could add this with some stash fabrics and make a smaller quilt. Or you could do what I would do with it and arrange it in a very nice fashion on a shelf for a future project. So all of our classic memberships come with the fabric. Obviously, that's the main focus. Each month, we feature a different independent quilt designer. And so our team goes out and searches all the quilt designers that are out there. And we want to introduce you to someone you might not have met before. And so inside each package, we have a card that has a bio of this individual, all their accomplishments, all the cool things they've done. And on the back, you get your choice of one free download from that designer, a PDF. That way you can pick which one you want. We're not telling you which one you have to take. You can pick which one you want. You go on the website, it's a free download, and you can keep that pattern forever. I do see a question. Can I specialize the mini pop box? Yes, the same thing. You can ask the same questions, get asked, what fabric do you want? What fabric do you not want? And you have the opportunity to tell us, hey, my guild has a challenge for orange fabric. I've never bought an orange fabric in my life. Can you send me orange fabric? All of that, the same rules still apply to the mini pop. We also, in our classic boxes, include a piece of lanyap. And so I know that's a new word for some people. I went to school in New Orleans. I love Creole culture, and lanyap is the concept of a baker's dozen. So it's the concept of that little extra gift that you get. And so each month we include a little something extra. It can be a small item from a small company that we found. It can be a piece of candy. It could be a ruler. It's just a little piece of something extra we put in these packages just to tell you how much we love you all and appreciate your support for letting us do what we do. So the classic boxes ship on Monday. They ship on the 20th of every month. This is actually one of my favorites because there is so much communication. We get to actually talk to the people we're shipping the packages to, which is always a joy and a pleasure for us. We like putting these together because, like I said, no two boxes are different. There's no assembly line with packing a classic box. This is definitely very individualized, specialized, and it is meant to be a gift designed especially for you, which I find a lot of value in. If you have any questions at all about the classic box, put them into the chat however you're watching this, and my team will happily help and answer you as we go. Now it's time for the giveaway. So wherever you're at, however you're watching this, whether you're watching it live or on a replay, go ahead and leave a comment with the one fabric that you love more than anything. Is it a color? Is it a designer? Is it a print? What is the one thing that if you walked into a quilt shop and it was filled with all of this, you would live there forever? Go ahead and leave that comment and we'll pick one random winner in the next 24 hours to receive a free classic box for the month of December, just in time for the holidays, to give yourself a personalized gift. Let's see. So I'm looking at my notes. So that's everything we wanted to talk about today. So I said every Thursday. Next week, we're going to have Thanksgiving. So there will be no live next week for us. We're going to take the week off. I hope everyone enjoys time with their family. And if you're traveling, please travel safe, of course, and enjoy everything that you have next week. We will be back the following Thursday, which is going to be an exciting day for Team Cotton Cuts because we launch our Tree of Life puzzle mystery quilt on that Friday. So we will have tons more information about Tree of Life. We're going to be giving away a lot of stuff that day. I'm not going to lie. You might as well mark it on your calendar now. There'll be more than one giveaway that day because it is such an important day for us. We love our puzzle mystery quilts around here. And we definitely want to make sure that you share all that excitement with us. I know there's a lot of people that love them too. And we can't wait to hear from all of you. Have a very happy Thanksgiving. And today we're going to be sending out an email to all the subscribers on our email list with a very special code to get $5 off this month. So definitely check your emails. If you're not already subscribed, head to our website, sign up now for the newsletter so you don't miss out. All right, everybody, we'll see you in 2 weeks and have a great rest of your day. Bye.